Welcome to the deep dive. We sift through all the information out there to give you the clearest insights. Today, we're tackling something many people go through, but honestly, it feels like it's still kind of mysterious. Perimenopause. Our look into the research really highlights something crucial. This isn't just something you have to, grit your teeth and bear. It's often a treatable hormonal thing. So, let's unpack this. What exactly is perimenopause?
Right. It's more than just a feeling or knowing menopause is coming eventually. Perimenopause is really a distinct transitional time before menopause hits. And the core of it, it involves changes in ovulation. Often you get what are called ovulatory cycles. Basically, your body isn't releasing an egg every single month like clockwork anymore.
Okay, so ovulation starts getting inconsistent.
Exactly. And during this time, your body might still be making estrogen. Sometimes estrogen levels can even spike erratically, which causes its own issues. But typically, you're making significantly less progesterone, or sometimes like almost none.
So it's that imbalance, less progesterone compared to the estrogen.
Precisely. And that imbalance is really key because it can cause a whole cascade of effects throughout the body.
That makes sense. It's a specific physiological state, not just vague changes. So if that's what's happening hormonally, how do you know if you're actually in perimenopause? What are the common signs you should be looking out for?
Yeah, that's the critical question for so many people. And interestingly, there's a pretty clear way to get a handle on it. A diagnosis, or maybe better put, an identification of early perimenopause can often be made if a woman in midlife, even if her periods are still regular, experiences any 3 of 9 specific changes.
3 out of 9. Okay, what are they?
Well, they cover a few areas.
Right.
First, changes to your period itself. Maybe suddenly it's much heavier than usual or it lasts longer. Or the cycle length might change. Becoming shorter is quite common, often like 25 days or even less between periods.
Shorter cycles, okay. I think many assume periods just get further apart.
That happens later, closer to actual menopause. In early perimenopause, shorter cycles are a real hallmark. Then there are new physical things, like breasts feeling sore or swollen, maybe even lumpy when they weren't before. Cramps might get worse too.
Right.
And sleep disruption is a big one. Specifically, new trouble with waking up, say, in the middle of the night and not being able to get back to sleep easily. Plus, the classic night sweats, especially happening in the days leading up to your period. We also see things like new migraine headaches or existing migraines getting much worse. And mood changes, new or significantly increased premenstrual mood swings. PMS getting really intense. And finally, weight gain. This is a frustrating one, gaining weight even when you haven't changed your eating habits or how much you exercise.
Wow. Okay.
And just to add, cognitive things like finding your memory isn't quite as sharp, that's also strongly linked.
That is quite a list. Hearing them all together, it really paints a picture. Suddenly, things that might have seemed random might actually connect. Which leads us straight to the really interesting part. If these are the signs, what does this mean for treatment? Can we actually do something about this?
Yes, absolutely. That's the empowering part. Perimenopause isn't something untreatable. It often does require some kind of intervention to manage the symptoms and, crucially, address that hormonal imbalance we talked about.
So not just grin and bear it.
Definitely not. And progesterone plays a huge role here, specifically oral micronized progesterone. It's proven very effective for a lot of those symptoms. The hot flashes, the night sweats, even severe PMS, and that heavy bleeding.
Micronized. Why is that important?
Micronized just means the particles are very small, which helps your body absorb it much better. It helps balance out the estrogen's effect, particularly on the lining of the uterus, the endometrium. That's really important for preventing problems down the line.
Okay, so progesterone helps restore some balance?
Exactly. And for really severe symptoms, particularly bad PMS, the sources mention that sometimes an initial approach might even involve a higher dose, like 800 milligrams of sublingual progesterone. That's the kind that dissolves under your tongue for fast absorption. It can apparently bring relief within hours.
Within hours? That's significant.
It really is. But this points to a common issue. Sometimes this phase isn't well understood or treated optimally by doctors. The role of progesterone in particular can be overlooked. What often gets brushed off as just normal for your age or part of the change is actually a set of symptoms stemming from a treatable imbalance. Knowing that changes everything.
It absolutely does. So, wrapping this up, our deep dive shows pretty clearly that perimenopause isn't this vague, untreatable slide into menopause. It's a distinct phase. It has recognizable symptoms, driven largely by that estrogen-progesterone imbalance. And crucially, it can be managed effectively, often with the right kind of progesterone therapy. The information is out there, but it feels like it's still not common knowledge. Which leaves us with a thought. If something this common is still so often misunderstood or dismissed, what other normal life experiences might we be misinterpreting or undertreating? And how much could simply staying informed truly improve your quality of life?